The magic lantern was the first primary invention that made it so audience had a medium of film. It worked as a slide projector that projected glass paintings or paper. The lantern slides were hand painted and drawn onto the glass or paper. In 1827, Claude Niepce took the first still photograph. The photograph was titled View from a Window at Le Gras. It took almost 8 hours to expose. This was a revolution in the world of cinema as it created the birth of film. With the creation of the first photograph, other pioneers such as Edward Muybridge and the Lumiere brothers could go on to further develop technology to create moving images. The Formatrope was one of the very early illusional toys. There were 2 pictures on each side of the disc, with each side attached to a string. When the strings were quickly turned, it made a moving image. Being the first of its kind, this plays a large part in the development of the moving image. The circle is drawn to create the shape. Once the shape is made, we draw the pictures on each side of the disc. Once the pictures are drawn onto the shape is then cut out to make the circle, and 2 holes are punctured into the side of it. Two pieces of string are then threaded through the holes and tied up at the edge. The pieces of string are then twirled to create the illusion. In 1832, Joseph Plateau and Sons introduced the phenakistoscope. The phenakistoscope was an illusion toy that had pictures on one disc that was viewed through slots on an outside disc. The illusion was made when the two discs were spun together and viewed in a mirror. The disc spanned so fast that it created the illusion that the images were moving. This was a very important key in the development of cinema, as it was the first time society was exposed to moving imagery entertainment. In 1834, William George Horner made a new illusion toy called the zoetrope. This followed the same principle as the phenakistoscope, however there were no discs used. Instead, the pictures in the slot were combined in a rotating drum. The drums are spun, and when you look through the slots, it looks as if the image is moving. In 1877, Emily Raynaud introduced the praxinoscope. This was very similar to the zoetrope, however the illusion produced by the praxinoscope was viewed on mirrors on the inside of the drum rather than looking through slots on the outside. This was one of the more advanced illusion toys, as the audience did not have to look through slots. In 1878, Edward Muybridge finally, after 5 years' attempt, achieved success in trying to capture a moving image. Back in 1873, the ex-governor of California asked him to settle a bet that horses' hooves left the ground when they galloped. He did this by setting up a bank of tripwires, 12 precisely, connected to cameras and their shutters. Muybridge then developed a projector to show his findings. He adapted the zoetrope to make the zoo praxinoscope. In 1894, the Lumiere brothers are part of a family that is the biggest manufacturer of photographic plates in Europe. A kinetoscope exhibitor asked the brothers to make films which are cheaper than ones sold by Thomas Edison. Louis and Auguste design a camera that serves as a recording device and a projecting device. They call it the cinematograph. The cinematograph uses 35mm wide strips of films and uses an intermittent mechanism modelled on the sewing machine. This was an innovation in cinema and film, as it was the first time visuals were recorded and projected on the same device. Their films became extremely successful as they were the first actual films for the public to watch and enjoy. The only real purposes of these films were to entertain the audiences, as the audiences would be entertained by the moving images. One film in particular that caused a major impact on cinema today was The Life of an American Fireman, as it contained the first piece of edited footage. This is so significant as it would go on to inspire people to further develop editing technology to reach where we are today.